Romance is without question one of my favorite genres in anime. The main reason behind that is how the characters struggle to find either each other or to find their own resolve, either by finding someone more suitable or finding inner peace. It's one of the ultimate journeys that can lead to an ultimate destination. Not to mention that the characters have what it takes to make a story compelling and intriguing, and thus becomes something I personally keep coming back to. Rent-a-Girlfriend is not one of those romance animes. Most of the characters are not intriguing, the story is absolute ass, and it's just a lesson on how not to pursue a romantic relationship or to just keep telling lies. For those who don't know, Rent-a-Girlfriend is a manga series written and illustrated by Reiji Miyajima, who received the Weekly Shonen Magazine Newcomer Award for his one-shot manga titled Pull no Saboten, and then published an adaptation of the idol group AKB49 titled Renai Kenshi Jurei, and then proceeds to publish Rent-a-Girlfriend. With an anime adaptation, a live-action adaptation, and a video game adaptation, Rent-a-Girlfriend would seem to be the next popular romance anime that would captivate the hearts of many. Too bad that the writing and characterization is dog shit. With 2 seasons into the anime, how could Rent-a-Girlfriend possibly fuck up in its first season? It fucks up exponentially. Episode 1, Rent-a-Girlfriend. We're introduced to our main protagonist, Kazuya Kinoshita, a 21-year-old college student who lives on his own, who's dating a blonde chick named Mami Nanami, who dumps him after 1 month and then blocks him on Twitter. Well, that lasted long. Depressed, Kazuya then does what the title says and rents a girlfriend. And for those wondering, rental girlfriend services are in fact real. Kazuya rents the 5-star ranked rental girlfriend Mizuhara Chizuru. She receives pay up front. They go to a restaurant, visit an aquarium, and hold hands together in the end. Afterwards, Kazuya looks up Chizuru on the website and was surprised to know what a rental girlfriend is because apparently, despite the fact that he's a high school graduate supposedly, he doesn't know how to read. Oh, and the money he blew off was for his apartment. Also, how the hell do you go from this to this? Furious, Kazuya then leaves a 1-star rating for Chizuru and then rents her again just to basically yell at her. Chizuru then proceeds to tell him off.
What's wrong with you? Are you stupid? Yelling like that in a public place, drawing everyone's attention? What is your problem anyway? All day you've been saying stuff like, don't you feel empty? And we're strangers! Huh? Seriously, are you stupid? I mean, I'm a rental girlfriend. This is just how it works! You were the one who requested this, weren't you? You saw the user agreement and clicked I agree, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
And why did you give me a 1-star review anyway? Did I actually do anything wrong on our first date? That brought my rating down 0.3 of a point!
The fact that she asked this jerk off if he looked at the user agreement really speaks volume of how much of a hopeless bastard Kazuya really is. And we're only 8.5 minutes in. And then Kazuya acknowledges his error. Dumbass. He then receives a phone call about his grandmother passing out in the hospital. Kazuya rushes to her and Chizuru tags along. Turns out that the old hag is alive and kicking, but since Chizuru made the unfortunate mistake of tagging along with Kazuya, his family begin to wonder if Chizuru is really his girlfriend. Kazuya then lies to everyone that Chizuru is his real girlfriend, and she proceeds to add more oil in the fire. I hate this face, by the way. As Kazuya's parents return to the store, Kazuya's grandmother asks if they had sex.
Have you had sex already?
Does Kazuya's parents really see him as a hopeless child who can't get any bitches on the dick that his own grandmother had to ask such a question? Seriously, he's 21, living on his own like a bastard, and this is how his family treats him? I cannot but wonder if they truly thought to themselves, did we make the right choice having a child? Chizuru answers by saying that they'd rather have a family approval than to get it on, but if grandmother is okay with it, then by all means, fuck off. She runs on the gossip about Kazuya's new established love life, but Chizuru panics as she knows that her grandmother is also a patient in the hospital. How convenient. The two try to escape from the hospital, but they had to hide from the walking yet-to-be-dead. The old hag reached the room where the 2 lovebirds for brains were hiding and then proceeded to hide in the bed, with Chizuru on the bottom and Kazuya on top. You see the problem here. She even feels Kazuya's boner, which, to be fair, it is a reaction of the opposite sex, but you know that Kazuya has it worse when it comes to controlling his hormones when fucking Glenn Quagmire was trained for shit like this.
Right, Glenn. This exercise should help teach you self-control. Here's this month's Victoria's Secret catalog.
Oh God, dead kittens, old nuns, really old nuns, Renee Zellweger. Oh, there we go.
So the old hag finds him under the covers, not knowing it's them, and Chizuru pretends to be a patient by saying that the couple left the hospital. The grandmother believes it and runs to find them. Meanwhile, Kazuya and Chizuru are still under the covers. Why the fuck are they still hiding? The old bitch is gone now, so why are these two groping each other? After Chizuru gives Kazuya what he deserves,
Like hell!
both their grandmothers enter the room, and Kazuya tries to clean things up, but Chizuru throws even more oil in the fire.
Kazuya's grandmother and mine are friends? Wow, what a coincidence! Like it was our destiny or something.
We'll go from friends to family when they get married. Let's hope.
I'm just gonna say this because I think it's appropriate. Chizuru really needs to shut the fuck up. After that mess, the two are finally out of the hospital, and Chizuru suggests announcing their breakup. Kazuya then explains his family business and his reason for finding a girlfriend, to find a nice girlfriend before his grandmother passes away. He then explains his previous relationship with Mami and him using the rental girlfriend service like a dumbass. After that sob story, Chizuru can relate to Kazuya's predicament and responds in the best way possible. He deserved that. Kazuya apologizes and wishes for the best for both their families. Chizuru continues her rental girlfriend job, and Kazuya vows to never date a rental girlfriend again. The next day, Kazuya sees Mami and then almost immediately gets anxious about it. Not to worry, his friends are here to save the day. Also, Chizuru goes to the same school as Kazuya. Well, shit. Now, what have we learned? Kazuya is a hopeless, love-struck moron who doesn't know how to read and think properly and doesn't know when he's in the wrong until he finds himself in the wrong. Chizuru is committed to her work as a rental girlfriend and gives Kazuya the what for when he deserves it. Her setback is when she tries to cover for him or when she tries to improve the situation. Kazuya's parents are bitter towards him, it seems, and Kazuya himself doesn't know how to properly manage his money. He keeps spending money on her and doesn't know when to simply just stop and try to patch this up with Mami. Instead, he rents Chizuru just to make himself feel better. Even during the date, he thinks to himself that he'd rather sleep alone than to be out and about. Kazuya's mindset of Chizuru being his actual girlfriend is also a problem, because now this son of a bitch is going to find himself losing both his balls if he ever so dreams of being near her. This is not a good start. Kazuya is an idiot, Chizuru is committed but needs to do better handling dire situations, and we know next to nothing about Mami yet. It's a development, I know, but what we have from the get-go is a rocky start. Episode 2, Ex-Girlfriend and Girlfriend. After an awkward encounter, Kazuya lies to his friends about his knowing of Chizuru. Afterwards, Chizuru forces Kazuya to shut his dick hole about her identity. She also reminds him to read the I agree and confirm buttons so that he never presses those buttons again. Also, they live next door to each other. How convenient. After that, Kazuya's grandma calls him to inform him that she'll be visiting him to see Chizuru. So then he begs Chizuru to be his girlfriend, but Chizuru ain't having any of that. She then reads a part of the user agreement and tells Kazuya straight.
Article 3C of the user agreement, requesting that the talent accompany the user to their residence, workplace, or other private spaces is strictly forbidden under all circumstances. Are you old enough to know what forbidden means?
Bids Kazuya farewell, more than she tells him to fuck off, and Kazuya's grandmother arrives. Good thing that Kazuya cleaned up his apartment, because if there's one thing that everyone should know about Kazuya, is that he sucks at keeping his apartment clean. Kazuya fake calls Chizuru to step out of his apartment to try his luck one more time by pretending to be a sexy delivery man.
Who is it?
Package for you.
Seriously, that voice is priceless. Chizuru buys it because why did she, and opens the door to see Kazuya begging to play Nisekoi. Again, she then kicks Kazuya and slams the door.
You're on your own, pal.
Kazuya tells his grandma that she isn't coming over, but his grandma is quicker than he will ever know, as she knows right then and there that she broke up with him, and for good reasons. She worries for Kazuya as he invites perverted boys over, but not girls. She really likes Chizuru, given the short time, so seeing Kazuya dating her made her feel at ease. Kazuya then comes to terms about Chizuru being a rental girlfriend. Chizuru, after hearing that sob story, enters Kazuya's apartment and brings the food that she made. Grandma can feel at ease this time as Chizuru comes back to say Kazuya's hopeless ass. Again. As Kazuya's grandmother leaves and lectures him, he offers Chizuru money to basically rent her every Wednesday, but on her conditions.
No more following me around or trying to talk to me. Secondly, you treat me like a stranger at school. And lastly, you only contact me through the site. Got it?
Yeah, I understand.
1 hour. And only on Wednesdays. You can rent me for 1 hour and that's all.
Pussy. The next day, Kazuya masturbates to a picture of mommy. This is our protagonist, everybody. The guy who's a high school graduate living on his own, barely lifts a finger to clean his apartment, who can't read terms of service and doesn't know when to take the initiative, and instead jacks off to the girl that left him and blocked him on social media. Fuck this honky. Hoping that Kazuya doesn't see mommy today, he sees mommy today. How convenient. Now, let's go over their relationship. Kazuya and mommy dated for a month. She breaks up with him after a month, saying she found someone else she likes. She blocks him on Twitter, and Kazuya felt bad about it. Now that these two have met each other after so long, Kazuya can finally, at long last, patch things up with her and discover finally why she broke up with him and blocked him on social media.
You must be spacing out. Did you even know you dropped your book? Here you go.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Bye.
What the fuck?
No, seriously, what the actual literal fuck? A golden opportunity to find out what the fuck happened, and instead he stares at her and lets her go. What the fuck is his problem? After that, Kazuya's friend, Yoshiaki Kibe, offers him some advice.
Just forget about Mommy. That girl is so out of your league, bruh.
Meanwhile, Mommy's friends talk about Kazuya and how he hasn't gotten over her yet. Mommy brushes it off with a cold, dead-eye stare. Back at Kazuya's apartment, he fantasizes about Mommy and begins to get it on. Before being cock-blocked by the doorbell. Saved by the doorbell. Thank God. Also, Kazuya opens the door with his hand on his crotch. Just something I noticed because he's naturally a sexual deviant. The fake couple ventures to the hospital. As they go, Chizuru tells Kazuya that they'll be needing a new meeting spot in order for Chizuru to avoid termination from her job. After meeting with Kazuya's grandma, the two walk together while holding hands, which grabs the attention of his friends. These two look out for Kazuya because they know how much of a fuck-up he is. Chizuru then introduces herself to his friends, all while holding in the urge to kill him. Kibe, along with Kazuya's other friend, Shun Kurabayashi, asks Kazuya if he had sex with her. Good thing they respect the law of chastity and they're willing to pass it on to Kazuya. Kibe then invites Chizuru and Kazuya to a little dinner at a restaurant. The fake couple take the elevator to the respective floor, where Kazuya apologizes and Chizuru ain't having any of that. As they arrive to the dinner floor, Kazuya is in for a treat because Mommy is also there and with her friends. The boys and girls make their orders and Kazuya is begging for death at this point. He notices that Mommy isn't looking at him, but Mommy doesn't care and claims that she moved on. As Kazuya takes a piss, he gets a hard on thinking about having sex with Mommy.
No way. Settle down there. Oh man, I'm such a loser.
For the first time in ever, Kazuya finally acknowledges the fact that he sucks and everything he touches dies. Truly, this is a message from God. Too bad his loserness continues with no end in sight. Mommy then tries to become friends with Chizuru and then, as the kids say, puts Kazuya on blast.
Being so hot must make it hard for you to deal with Kazu's sex drive, right?
Huh?
The problem is, Kazu doesn't have any experience, and he gets this scary, horny look in his eyes sometimes. One time I wore a super short miniskirt on a date with him, and he was all like, I can't stand up right now. Once I let him kiss me, he wanted to all the time, even if he just ate garlic and had terrible breath. And he always tried to hold my hand and take me back to his messy apartment, and you know what that's about. It was almost impressive just how horny he was.
That's enough backstory, Mommy.
What? Why? It's all true, right, Kazu?
The answer is yes.
The answer is always yes.
Let's not forget, Kazuya wants to have sex with Mommy. Period. But Chizuru ain't having any of that and basically tells Mommy how much of a bitch she is. Kazuya confirms that everything Mommy said was the truth. Chizuru leaves and Mommy orders more drinks. As everyone goes their separate ways, Kazuya begins to feel sorry for himself and Mommy tries to cheer him up. She does this by inviting him to her house. That was a mouthful. So, to summarize, Kazuya is a sexual idiot who dreams of fucking Mami one day instead of talking to her and trying to figure out why she broke up with them. Chizuru is still going strong with backing Kazuya up when he needs it most and also kicking his ass when he really needs it the most. Kibei is the true man and honestly needs more attention, but we'll get there. And Mami is a shady bitch who wears a cute smile to hide her true self. This episode is a bump up compared to the last one, and there's still more bullshit yet to experience. Episode 3, Beach and Girlfriend. Turns out that Mami lied about having a boyfriend because she was just jealous of Kazuya and Chizuru. Unfortunately, and fortunately, Kazuya can't visit because Mami's brother invited some of his pals. I love how the "be a gentleman" text just nonchalantly scrolls on the screen, as if the anime itself is telling Kazuya, "Be a gentleman, you nasty, sexually depraved high school dropout loser." So instead of Mami inviting Kazuya to her place, he then gets the unfortunate idea of inviting her to his place. What the fuck did the anime just tell him? Kazuya runs like a little bitch because he couldn't digest the idea of fucking the girl that dumped him, and also because he had one too many, but Mami buys him water. Kazuya fantasizes about Mami some more and then finally offers Mami a place to visit. So now they can finally get down to business and clean up this relationship once and for.
It's not like I'm being a psycho creep because I'm still not over you or anything like that. Just every time I see you at school, you're so cute and your legs are so sexy. Wait, no, I mean they're toned.
Kazu, chill out.
Yeah, Kazuya, chill out. And then you can invite her to talk about why you're such a fucking loser. You should die. Mami then expresses her ill feelings towards Chizuru, but Kazuya is still loyal towards his fake girlfriend, all because he didn't like Mami bad-mouthing Chizuru, despite his affection for Mami. Kazuya rushes out to Chizuru's apartment to apologize to her, only for Chizuru to appear behind him. Though he apologized, that doesn't mean a damn thing to a random girlfriend such as Chizuru. She questions if Kazuya and Mami got back together, but this is Kazuya we're talking about. He's a loser, and he knows that he's a loser. But Chizuru acknowledges his struggle to hold Mami to his heart, so in her eyes, Kazuya is not pathetic.
Give him one more second.
Something is wrong with me. I'm just so pathetic. I am.
And there it is.
The beach! Where the water's blue, the sand is sandy, and the girls are in their bikinis. You know where this is going, so let's dive right in. But first, Kazuya needs to pay 17,000 yen for the extra time he spent with Chizuru. He still hasn't learned his lesson yet. As the beach trip begins, Kazuya finally thinks about patching things up with Mami. Speaking of Mami, she's taking Kazuya's love life too hard, believing that Kazuya dating Chizuru is retaliation. She takes all of this with a cold, dead-eye stare. I should also note that Kazuya didn't invite Chizuru to the beach trip, so Chizuru's friends invited her. How nice. At the beach, Mami apologizes for basically being a cunt. She then reminisces about the month of dating, including their future child. The lie about Kazuya and Chizuru dating eats him up and he begins to explain everything. Meanwhile, Chizuru is right behind him. Chizuru in disguise. And by disguise, I mean just braids and glasses. Mami then asks what Kazuya was going to say. She really wants to know. Fortunately for Kazuya, Kibei drives Kazuya to a game of rock, paper, scissors. I guess is to determine who's gonna buy drinks. Kazuya's in the bathroom and Chizuru proceeds to enter the same bathroom because Kazuya forgot to lock it. How convenient. And stupid. He drives Chizuru inside, where they question their purpose for being at the beach and also why Chizuru was being nice to Kazuya. Where Chizuru tells him that it's okay to rent a girlfriend to make yourself feel better. There's a place for people to feel better. It's called therapy. And a happy place. Here's my happy place. So let's not misinterpret things. Chizuru is only being nice out of pity, as if she could ever be nice out of the goodness of her heart to a weakling like this jerk-off. Mami then approaches the bathroom, curious about who Kazuya has been talking to. At this point, Mami is the true hero. Still a bitch though. Mami opens the door and Chizuru reveals herself in her swimsuit. Kazuya then lies about how Chizuru ended up in the beach trip. They then ask Kazuya politely what he and Chizuru were doing in the bathroom together. Kibei reminds Kazuya of his advice he gave earlier.
Didn't I tell you your life would be ruined if you lost your virginity to a sex god and yours alone forever? Listen, just don't do it!
Good man. Mami then apologizes to Chizuru and then proceeds to text more crap about her. Meanwhile, Chizuru tries to leave and tells Kazuya to break the ice about their fake relationship. As the fake couple rejoins with everyone, Kazuya spreads even more lies about his relationship with Chizuru because he never grew a pair. At all. After that, Kazuya swims in the water and Mami asks for his help to fight her bracelet. This is just a ruse to get closer to him. All while Chizuru says,
I really trust Kazuya. He's not a cheater.
if there is anything that this episode proves is that Kazuya is a terrible liar. Seriously, Luffy is better at telling terrible lies. That's how bad Kazuya really is. Mami shows off her true colors via text, and Kibe once again proves that he's the best man. You can really tell that he's serious about relationships because of all the helpful advice he's given Kazuya thus far. In fact, Kibe in this point of the anime is my favorite character. He takes relationships seriously. He has redeemable qualities such as honesty and charity, and he's very good looking. Kibe is a blessing at this point, because if he wasn't in this whole anime would be reduced to ash already. Don't worry, it still burns with infamy. Episode 4, Friend and Girlfriend. We get some background story of how Mami and Kazuya first met and how Kazuya asked Mami out. The two seem to hit it off just fine. In fact, this may be the first time that Mami is worth seeing without disgust. Oh yeah, and Mami lied about the missing bracelet. After kissing Kazuya, Mami says to,
Let's just pretend that never happened.
and finds the bracelet she left behind. Back at the beach, Kazuya thinks that Mami wants him back and then suddenly receives a phone call from his grandmother. Also, Chizuru is developing some kind of sickness. Turns out that Kazuya's grandma is set for leaving the hospital. Afterwards, Kazuya announces that he and Chizuru will be breaking up. About fucking time. Everyone seems to be cool with it.
Huh?
Except for Kibe. Turns out that he noticed that Kazuya has been wussing out this whole time, gawking over Mami all while being with Chizuru. He also brings Mami into this because after all, she broke up with them, which started this whole fucking mess. Mami claims that she's innocent, except no she isn't, no she isn't, and no she fucking isn't. Kazuya walks away and Chizuru congratulates him for handling the situation, and Kazuya informs her on his grandmother's leave of the hospital, and vice versa for Chizuru. They can finally end this fake relationship and Kazuya can stop being a fucking coward. Kazuya takes his leave and Kibe invites Chizuru for a private chat. Meanwhile, Kazuya is still being a dumbass for spending money on Chizuru. Kibe explains to Chizuru about his time with Kazuya when they were younger and how he was bad with girls. Kibe recalls kicking a soccer ball to Kazuya's planter, and though Kazuya never knew what happened, he continued to care for the plant as if it were his own child. Kibe shares his respect for both Kazuya and Chizuru and encourages Chizuru to give Kazuya another chance. He then offers her a nice boat ride to congratulate the two. Kazuya overheard all of that, by the way, and gets spooked by a dog. Pussy. Kibe leaves the fake couple alone where Chizuru hands Kazuya the other ticket for the boat ride. On the boat ride, Chizuru's sickness worsens and encourages Kazuya to keep fighting the good fight and hopefully patch things up with Mami. Chizuru then rests inside the boat. Meanwhile, Kazuya receives a phone call from Mami. Turns out she needs to talk to Kazuya and wants him to meet her in the hotel pool. Chizuru gets up from the sofa on the boat and moves towards the guardrail where the boat rocks a little, thus sends Chizuru into the water. Kazuya rushes in to save her. Now, important question, why the fuck did Chizuru get up from the sofa and outside of the boat? She has a fever and her first thought is to get up and lean towards the outside of the boat. Why? Simply laying down and taking deep breaths would have been fine, but instead she gets up and leans on the guardrail where she might fall off. And look, she falls off. Now Kazuya has to dive into the water and save her from drowning. This is by far the worst part of the episode because this is the one time that despite her illness, Chizuru fucks up to the point where she could possibly die. And now Kazuya is risking his life to save her, all because she didn't lay down and get the rest that she needed. But on a good note, I fucking love Kibe. You can tell that he's a true man when his view on life is so relative and it hits hard. No one doesn't want to give up on their dreams and ambitions, so hearing that from Kibe is reassuring. He also gives the fake couple a gift and honor their relationship. If there's any character in this anime that I can see myself becoming friends with, it's Kibe. While Kazuya sucks at life, Chizuru keeps up her appearances, and Mami still wears her happy-go-lucky mask, Kibe is the glue that keeps relationships together. It pains me to see him in this mess of an anime because he has what it takes to be a true boyfriend. Nay, the main protagonist of the story. Why settle for a low-life loser who doesn't know how to read terms and surveys and constantly masturbates to the girl who dumped him when he could have someone who knows how to handle relationships or just girls in general? Kibe to me is the saving grace of this awful anime, while Kazuya Although you see those small glimmers of light of him trying to make amends with Mami or Chizuru, is still stumbling and trying, and failing, to clean up all these misunderstandings and mishaps, all while feeling bad about himself. Word of advice: if you feel bad about something and it's eating you up inside to the point where you're calling yourself worthless and trash, then do something about it. Similar to how you only can prevent forest fires, you too can assure a better future for yourself and others if you just come clean and be honest. Constantly feeling like shit and continuing to do shitty things is never an okay thing to do.
You can't keep doing this! You can't keep doing shitty things and then feel bad about yourself like that makes it okay. You need to be better.
For Kazuya, it's not because of peer pressure or anxiety, or perhaps it may be that telling the truth will kill him. It's him. He is the reason that this shit is continuing. He's a liar. He's disgusting. He's pathetic. And he knows that. And even though he's taking baby steps to fix the problem, in the end, they are baby steps. Even if he has to take leaps of faith and potentially fall to his death, he's still trying to set things right. And if the truth hurts, good. It's better to tell the truth that hurts, better to tell a lie that comforts. This is why Kazuya fucking sucks and he needs to improve from this point on. No excuses at this point. Time to wrap this shit up. After he rescues Chizuru from potentially drowning. Seriously, she really needed to lay down and rest and not move around the fucking boat. Episode 5, Hot Springs and Girlfriend. Kazuya dives in the water to save Chizuru. He manages to bring her to the beach, where Chizuru wakes up and sees Kazuya passed out on the shore. Feeling a fault about the incident, she attempts CPR in an attempt to save him. Meanwhile, Kibe overhears a report on both Kazuya and Chizuru going overboard. Mami hears about the incident from a friend. Thanks to Chizuru's efforts, she saves Kazuya and the two get rescued. And then get yelled at. I blame Chizuru for the whole incident. Kazuya had to spend the night in the hospital for observation. After that, Kazuya leaves the hospital where he meets his friends. He then attempts to speak with Mami, but she ain't having any of that. I guess she's really pissed off about Kazuya missing their meeting. Kibe tries to convince Kazuya to stay with Chizuru, but I'm willing to give this aside because Kazuya hasn't said anything. Yet. Kazuya and Chizuru return to the apartment where Kazuya is still dropping money on her. He also receives some beach pictures and Mami is one of them. You know where this is going. However, during his drunk out session, he also thinks of Chizuru, still with the mindset that she's his real girlfriend, and begins to develop actual feelings. The next day, Kazuya goes on a mountain trip for some health tour via the hot springs with his grandma and her friends. Chizuru's grandma also attends the tour. Kazuya enters his luxury room, which was basically a setup by his and Chizuru's grandmas respectively. Turns out that the room Kazuya entered was actually Chizuru's. Chizuru catches on about the ploy and attempts to tell their grandmothers to basically have a separate room. She takes the elevator while Kazuya takes the stairs.
Stop right there! You can take the stairs.
You deserve it, you unholy little shit. That didn't go as smoothly as I hoped, so they would have to share the room. Chizuru is determined to announce the breakup. Why haven't they done that already? As Chizuru bathes with Kazuya's grandmother, Chizuru asks her if she's been lying about the fake relationship. I guess that Kazuya's grandmother is used to lies, that she's numb to the concept. Plus, she likes Chizuru anyway, so no harm, no foul. Instead of trying to figure out how to properly announce the breakup, Kazuya and Chizuru just decide to cope with their predicament and have a meal. Afterwards, Kazuya tries to move over to another room to sleep, but Chizuru questions why he couldn't sleep with her in the same room. So far, they have been dilly-dallying with how to announce the breakup and haven't really thought of a way to break the news to their families or friends. Kazuya and Chizuru just roll with whatever unfortunate predicament, and Kazuya is still paying her to spend time with her. Although Chizuru asks Kazuya's grandmother about how she would feel if she found out that Chizuru was a fake girlfriend. Besides that, not much happened here. I'd rather see School Rumble all over than see this shit again. Episode 6, Girlfriend and Girlfriend. I fucking hate that title. As Kazuya tries to figure out why Chizuru suggests to sleep in the same room, he then begins to misinterpret the situation, thinking that she wants to get it on. Luckily, Chizuru responds with a good old down forward kick. I love that kick, by the way. So satisfying. Watch it again. Chizuru felt bad about Kazuya sleeping in the hallway, but would not hesitate to report him for any misbehavior.
But if you try to make a move on me tonight, I'll have you in court so fast your head'll spin.
Report him anyway, he's a sexual deviant. Kazuya then asks why Chizuru will rescue him, then starts feeling bad about himself again, and then says that he can become a better man if he's with her and wants to continue renting her. Can this prick be even more pathetic? Chizuru agrees to continue taking Kazuya's money and still wants to stop the lying. She suggests that Kazuya finds a real girlfriend.
You serious?
After a few days, Chizuru and Kazuya finally announce her breakup.
Chizuru and I have decided to keep dating for now. Keep dating for now. Keep dating!
Meanwhile, Mommy gets irritated by the sight of Kazuya and Chizuru. Yeah, I don't get it either. At a cafe, Chizuru still gives a rundown on everything we know so far, and Kazuya is still an idiot. Afterwards, Kazuya's friend, Shun, announces his girlfriend and decides to go on a double date. All by his lonesome, Kazuya bumps into a girl with a blue ribbon. We'll get acquainted with her soon. Later that night, Kazuya receives a text message from Shun to bring sports gear, while Chizuru receives a call from someone from the theater. More on that later. The double date will take place in a rock climbing place. Shun's girlfriend is the blue ribbon girl Kazuya bumped into last time, Ruka Sarashina. During the rock climbing session, Kazuya asks Shun on how to basically hook up with girls. Ruka then asks Chizuru to talk alone, but Ruka asks if Chizuru is a rental girlfriend.
Chizuru, are you a rental girlfriend?
Chizuru tries to deny it, but Ruka has a damn good bullshit detector. Ruka puts the fake couple to the test. She wants to see them kiss. Chizuru steps up and kisses him. Sort of. But again, Ruka has a damn good bullshit detector. Chizuru and Kazuya try to run away, and did. Chizuru takes her leave while Kazuya walks with Shun and Ruka, worried that Ruka might catch on with this fake relationship. Kazuya then tries to silence Ruka of the matter, but once again, Ruka has a damn good bullshit detector. This episode really shows what happens when you don't break off the fake relationship. Because of all the procrastinating that the two fake lovebirds were doing, Kazuya is wasting more money, Chizuru is still putting up with Kazuya's stupid ass, and Ruka is the saving grace of this episode. Seriously. Her bullshit detector makes this worthwhile. So let's see what happens when Ruka enters this mess of a plot. Episode 7, Provisional Girlfriend and Girlfriend. As Kazuya tries to explain what's been happening to Ruka, she doubts him and leaves. But I guess Kazuya was trying to grab her arm and instead groped her boob. Ruka calls Kazuya a pervert and walks away pissed, but Kazuya continues to stalk her. He begs her to not say anything about his relationship with Chizuru, but Ruka found out and decided to fuck with them. Kazuya then asks how she found out. She tries to keep it secret. Kazuya explains to Ruka about his breakup with Mommy and his reasoning for wasting money on Chizuru. Kazuya then wants Ruka to swear to never tell anyone about this predicament while recording. Kazuya begs again and Ruka begins to freak out and run away. As Ruka runs away, she sidesteps around an old lady and almost breaks her head open by falling down from stairs. Kazuya saves her in the nick of time, but Ruka still has that bullshit detector on. Kazuya tries to convince Ruka to not say anything about Chizuru, and Ruka comes clean about her being a rental girlfriend. Kazuya then meets with Chizuru and tells her who Ruka really is, which angers Chizuru. After looking her up, they agree to not say anything about the matter, but to keep an eye on her. The next day at school, he finds Ruka wearing the school uniform he was looking to be with Kazuya. Worried that Shun would get the wrong impression of the two, Kazuya takes her to an empty classroom. Ruka then tells Kazuya to hug her, but Shun enters the classroom only to find it empty. Kazuya and Ruka hide under the teacher's desk, but Ruka uses her phone, which makes a beeping sound. That beeping sound is her heart rate monitor. Thinking that Shun left the classroom,
Cody! What is this? What are the two of you doing together?
well, not really. Shun sees Kazuya and Ruka together, and Kazuya explains to Shun that Ruka was looking for him, but Ruka thanks Shun for renting him. This ends on a sour note. Ruka is then fixated on her heartbeat and blushes. More on that later. Shun runs away and Kazuya tries to find him, but this might as well be another episode of Wild Coyote and the Roadrunner. Afterwards, Kazuya reports to Chizuru about Ruka announcing herself as a rental girlfriend. Kazuya then explains about Ruka's expression. Speaking of Ruka, she arrives at the apartment after learning about it from Shun. Ruka tries to get the truth from Kazuya and about his relationship with Chizuru. She then records herself that she will never tell anyone about their fake relationship, but only if Kazuya dates her. This is due to her heart rate monitor exceeding over the limit, and because of that, this means that she likes Kazuya. Well, there's that, and also she has Kazuya's kindness. If only she learned the truth of this worthless dirtbag. Ruka tries to persuade Kazuya to dating her, but Kazuya thinks this will complicate things between him and Chizuru. Chizuru advises Ruka to be careful what she says, to which Ruka counters by saying that Kazuya likes her because he grabbed her boob.
That's not true. Besides, I know he likes me too because he grabbed my boobie!
What?
Now hold on just a minute, that was just an accident!
Splish! Does any cute girl that walks by do it for you? Is that how you are?
No, it's not what you think!
I'm going to assume this is blackmail at this point, but this also sounds like that Ruka liked the feeling of this stalker groping her. In fact, Ruka is off to a clunky start anyways because she relies on a heart rate monitor to determine her affection. Combined with the fact that Kazuya accidentally groped her, this should be a bad sign. We see more of Ruka's backstory later, kind of, but right now, this is a rocky start. Kazuya tries to explain to Chizuru about what really happened, but Chizuru is pissed and Ruka asks Chizuru if she was ever groped. After Chizuru debunked the claim, Ruka rubs in how she went further with Kazuya, even though those were plain accidents. I'm seriously starting to think she's fucking with both of them. Although I do like seeing Kazuya getting slandered. He deserves all of this. Worried that all three of them will be caught together, Kazuya and Chizuru enter his apartment, but Ruka points out that Chizuru has no problem entering his apartment and clings on to him, not wanting Chizuru to have him. Dear God, this fucking girl. Chizuru asks Ruka to leave them alone for 5 minutes, which she basically says, bitch please, but when her dear Kazuya asks her, then she starts blushing and agrees oh so easily. Chizuru advises Kazuya to be the better person in this scenario and not let Ruka continue to blackmail him. Kazuya then decides to tell Shun the truth about Chizuru in order to patch things up between them. Kazuya finally does something right for once, but in order to avoid Ruka, Kazuya nearly dies by jumping out of the window.
Ow, my back, my butt! Ow, 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 ow!
At least you didn't land on your head.
He should have. Ruka sees this and runs towards him, but Chizuru asks her if this truly will make her happy. Ruka still pursues Kazuya and catches up with him, but Kazuya is still intent on running. He then apologizes to Ruka and tells her that going out with her isn't the best option. Ruka cries and knew that dating him, among other things, wasn't the best idea, but she still wants to date him because she was envious of his relationship with Chizuru. She really wants to date him, but not to fall for it right away. I can admire her commitment, but for everything else, I honestly wish they started on better terms, even if it's with this lousy jerk-off. Chizuru then tells Kazuya to go out with her in order to keep her job and fake relationship a secret. And it is here, during this episode's ending, that we learn more of Ruka. In her youth, Ruka was inflicted with an irregular heartbeat disease, which made it difficult for her to get excited emotionally and make friends. She then decides to become a rental girlfriend in order to find someone that can make her heart race further without trouble. In other words, to fall in love with someone. I do wish that this was an actual episode and not part of the end credits, but at least we get backstory of Ruka and her condition. Kazuya may still be a bumbling idiot, but his heart was in the right place, for the most part. Although he didn't want to cause harm for others, he instead causes harm for himself, both physically and mentally. Instead of just letting Ruka down easily and starting things fresh with her, he instead just lets her jump on him like a monkey and puts up with her shenanigans. Ruka's debut is honestly not a good one. At first, she despises Kazuya, and rightfully so, but then the heart monitor kicks in and then she turns into a love-struck teen. I get it's because she wants to find someone that can give her those doki dokis, but constantly following him and blackmailing him are two red flags here. She should have just convinced him that dating her would have been beneficial for both Kazuya and Chizuru so that Kazuya can finally have a real girlfriend because she likes him, and Chizuru no longer needs to be at risk of a damaged reputation. I honestly think that Ruka should have been handled better so that none of this weird melodrama shit didn't happen. So far, I commend Ruka for finding someone that can make her feel joy at last, but the method to do so wasn't the best. Let's see if Ruka can improve from here on out. Episode 8, Christmas and Girlfriend. Kazuya is bummed out because of all the messages Ruka kept sending him due to the new terms he has to work with. He also hears water flowing from Chizuru's apartment and begins to fantasize about her in the shower.
For 5 minutes!
After jacking off, Kazuya thinks of distancing himself from Ruka. At school, Ruka enters the scene after not getting a response after an hour. Kazuya then begs Ruka to prevent Shun from finding out about them. Ruka agrees to stay away from the college, but she wants to go out with Kazuya to see some romance movie. How sweet. Chizuru sees them from the distance and says to her friends that she has plans. After looking at his balance, he sees Chizuru in public meeting with someone. Kazuya then decides to tell both of them after thinking that this man may be Chizuru's actual boyfriend. Kazuya follows them everywhere they go, from the sidewalk to the movie theater and into the shopping center, all while wondering if the two had sex yet. He then meets the man in the bathroom with a stupid look on his face. He overhears his conversation about Chizuru and follows them even further. As it looks like that this man is about to kiss Chizuru, Kazuya reveals himself by slipping on the stairs and falling. Turns out that this fine gentleman was trying to adjust Chizuru's earring. Kazuya then explains everything he's heard about this man. And Chizuru reveals herself to be a starting actress. Her being a rental girlfriend was just a method to pay for the acting classes, and the man comes clean about the phone call. The phone call was about recommending Chizuru to a casting director about upcoming roles. After Kazuya comes clean about what he was thinking and what he had done, Chizuru then gives him a new phone case because his current one was showing its wares. It was also a way to express her apology. Kazuya cries again and feels bad about herself again and... fuck this. I fucking hate this episode. I fucking hate this plot, and I fucking hate Kazuya Kinoshita. He's a loser. He's a liar. He's a sexual depraved monster. He's a brainless, spineless pig who barely knows how to think properly, and this episode proves that. This waste of skin has no reason to exist. At all. He stalks Chizuru because he saw her with another man when he constantly forgets the fact that Chizuru is a rental girlfriend. He's still in love with her despite Chizuru telling him multiple times that there's nothing between them. Kazuya hasn't even tried to talk to mommy yet. He hasn't tried to become a better man, nor has he tried to announce to his friends and family that he had broken up with Chizuru. This creep has zero redeemable qualities. Instead of stepping up and fixing what's broken, he instead sits in his room, feels bad about himself, jacks off after fantasizing about whatever girl he can get his rocks off the best, and doesn't do anything to improve the situation. Rarely does he do that, like with dating Ruka and telling Shun the truth, but 95% of the time, Kazuya is a fucking train wreck. On fire. I hate this cum stain of a tainted sperm so much. He truly does put the shit in his last name, Kinoshita. I honestly prefer Makoto Ito from School Days at this point, because even though he only wanted to fuck random girls all while not giving a fuck about the damage he caused to Kotonoha, he eventually patches things up with her after he knew how bad he did. I can at least see some humanity in Makoto and why I believe he's better than Kazuya, but he still deserves those stab wounds. Hell, Masato from A Heat for All Summers is better than both of them combined. Although he fucks up by fucking other girls, he eventually realizes his mistakes and patches things up with his girlfriend. Of course, he was able to mend the broken hearts of the girls he met along the way, sort of. He still had what it took to be a copacetic protagonist. And just to get this out there, A Heat for All Seasons is a hentai. A fucking hentai has a way better protagonist than this fucking shit stain of a series ever could. This is where Rent-A-Girlfriend became the most fascinatingly bad anime I've ever seen, and it only gets worse from here. Once again, fuck Kazuya Kinoshita. He is everything wrong in this series and is better off dead after leaving the womb. You know what? No, he should have never been conceived. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Fuck this fucking stupid ass, Loki from Fairy Tail looking ass, Dreamcast shirt wearing looking ass, and making babies with paper napkin looking ass. Episode 9, Lies and Girlfriend. Well, Kazuya got a job, and at a karaoke place to boot. Still a fucking moron though. He's also gogging about Chizuru being an actress. Speaking of Chizuru, she explains that buying gifts is agency policy, which brings several questions to the table. Is this where a portion of the money goes to? How does rental girlfriend know what to buy? Is it optional to buy gifts for clients? And the big one, how much money can they spend on clients? I would honestly appreciate some backstory on this agency that Chizuru and Ruka work for, so that not only can Chizuru drill that in Kazuya's barren wasteland he calls a skull, but also to elaborate on how the agency operates. Chizuru asks Kazuya if he's fallen in love with her. to which Kazuya lies once again, and Chizuru once again reminds him of who he is in this relationship. If there's anything I can ask my girlfriend, it's this. Do you think I'm stupid? Because if so, no fucking wonder why Kazuya's an idiot. It's like the anime itself is portraying a mirror and we see Kazuya all the time. And the reason why we see him is probably because deep down, we want him to hook up with Chizuru. After the mess that was Mami breaking up with him and Ruka trying to date him for many wrong reasons, Kazuya dating Chizuru would simply be a load off after all the beatings Kazuya took, both physically and mentally. But Chizuru constantly reminds him that she's a rental girlfriend and he's a client. Nothing has changed between the two. Kazuya is still a fucking moron because he seriously thinks he has an atom-sized chance of Chizuru officially dating him. I'm not the idiot here. This useless shit stain is. This hunky should have learned this 4 episodes ago, but he's still determined to date Chizuru and possibly take advantage of her. Fuck this, I'll just keep going. So, as the fake couple continue their routine, Ruka finds them and claims that he's cheating on her. Kazuya lies again and Ruka takes him off Chizuru's hands. Ruka then blindfolds Kazuya and takes him to a love hotel, where we see the best Ruka scene ever of all time. Let's take a moment to appreciate this scene. Ruka is sitting on this violet chair, slowly taking off her right stocking, all while locking eyes on Kazuya. This right here is what dedication looks like. Ruka looks like as if she's ready to get frisky with the man she wishes to lose her innocence with, and her overall posture is fantastic. The way she sits on the chair, how her legs spread from the knees downward, and how her head is tilted, all while looking at her soulmate. Ruka figuratively is a sight to see. So how do you think Kazuya reacts to this? Kazuya Kinoshita, this fucking dirtbag, this unholy less of a man, this unredeemable pile of vomit just tried to run away from the girl that is actually in love with him. It's been said so many times at this point, it doesn't even matter if he doesn't heed Chizuru's advice, because that's how much of a fucking idiot he really is. Yet he has no problem fantasizing about the lewd things he might do to her. This honky really is Makoto on meth. I also need to appreciate how Ruka slowly drops her foot on the carpet while saying Kazuya's name. I see why people like her, and it gets better from here. Kazuya turns around like the bitch honky he is, and Ruka is pissed. If I were her, I would be on fire. Kazuya explains his relationship with Chizuru to Ruka and says that it can't last forever. Ruka slaps him, thank God, and talks sense to Kazuya. She even tells him to introduce her to his grandmother. Ruka is committed, but Kazuya is still a cowardly, lying shitbag. Ruka then asks if Kazuya had sex with Chizuru, which surprises him. Ruka tells him that carrying the will of the family with a rental girlfriend is not the way to go and offers herself. Kazuya then tries to run away again. Oh my god, this fucking Claude! Ruka is trying to help Kazuya the best way she can, and Kazuya runs to the bathroom. Fuck this nigga. So Ruka sees Kazuya's phone that has a notification regarding his grandmother, and to no one's surprise, literally no one, Kazuya is freaking out and his method of calming down is to think of Chizuru. Kazuya leaves the bathroom only to find Ruka not in the room. Ruka had to leave because of her heart rate, and she also didn't want to rush things. Good girl. The new year has begun, and Kazuya is still wasting money on Chizuru. The fake couple meet with Kazuya's grandmother, which brings tears to her eyes. Ruka also tags along. Awesome. Kazuya catches on as to how Ruka knew about the meetup, but either way, he's fucked. To cover up the misadventures Kazuya had with Ruka, he lies to his grandmother saying that Chizuru and Ruka are best friends and Chizuru plays along. But Ruka doesn't waste any time and says she's Kazuya's girlfriend. Remember her damn good bullshit detector? Kazuya's grandma talks to her sorry excuse of her grandson by clawing at him and telling him to break it off with Ruka or cut ties with his family. Kazuya, the no good liar, explains to his grandmother that Ruka is a pathological liar. Even Kazuya thinks that the lie is bullshit. His grandma is finding it hard to believe that Kazuya would ever find the time a day to find not one, but two beautiful women to fuck over. But she still is Chizuru, so not much to say here. Meanwhile, in the girls' restroom, Ruka tells Chizuru what Kazuya told her and advises to take over her role as she believes that Chizuru is in violation. Chizuru says that it's complicated, to which Ruka says that it's their fucking fault that this shit is this bad. She then grips her boob. I don't get it. Why? Ruka is really committed to dating Kazuya and basically tells Chizuru to end their fake relationship. Once again, I see why people like her. Ruka then speaks to Kazuya outside while Kazuya's grandmother brings up about Ruka's issue that Kazuya lied about. Kazuya then tells Ruka what he lied about, and Ruka is having a hard time holding it in. Kazuya tells Chizuru what he told his grandma, who has gone missing, who was speaking with Ruka. She tries calling Kazuya, but Ruka isn't in the mood. We can relate. The fake couple split up to find Ruka while Kazuya's grandma asks Ruka about Chizuru. Speaking of, Chizuru finds both Ruka and Kazuya's grandmother. Kazuya apologizes to Ruka for lying, and Ruka is determined to make the relationship official. Chizuru hides near a shrine where she reads a fortune about her future love life. In the end, Kazuya is a liar, Ruka is committed, and Kazuya's grandma is a victim to this whole mess. Ruka is the star of the show. Enough said. Episode 10, Friend's Girlfriend. Ruka begins working with Kazuya at the karaoke, and Kazuya's friends enter the karaoke as well.
That bow tie would look better on your dick, bro.
Sure would. Every day we stray further from God.
You do, they don't. Fuckhead. Kazuya's friends talk about how Shun is basically depressed, and Kazuya lies to them, trying to cover up what happened between Shun and Ruka. Kazuya then advises Ruka to apologize to Shun, but she wants to be with Kazuya, so not dating Shun as a client is no surprise. Meanwhile, Kazuya gets paid and immediately thinks about blowing it off on Chizuru. He has to give money to anyways because he still doesn't have the balls to take notes when disturbed and just stop. He then gets an idea and advises Chizuru to date Shun. Shun tries to run, and Chizuru thinks about entering the amusement park alone. Shun thinks twice and goes with her and has a decent time doing so. At dusk, Shun feels bad about being with rental girlfriends and how boys like him fall for girls like Chizuru. But Chizuru can sympathize with Shun and can understand where he's coming from. As the date ends, Shun feels better and tries to pay Chizuru, but the date was already paid by this fucking cunt right here, who doesn't know how to hide or lie properly. Chizuru leaves the two while Kazuya apologizes for lying. He then tells Shun the truth and Shun laughs at him. Good. Kazuya runs off like a little bitch and Chizuru and Shun walk towards the train station. Kazuya then reads a note from Chizuru to meet up with her, I guess. I don't fucking care anymore. Chizuru then recommends a new rental girlfriend for Kazuya to date, and this time for free. Chizuru then asks about Mommy, and Kazuya still hasn't talked to her about why she broke up with them. Fuck this. Shun feels better and he's all gonna depressed. Next! Episode 11, Truth and Girlfriend. End this, please! We're introduced to another rental girlfriend who is also a college student, Sumi Sakurasawa. She's shy and startles easily, and she'll unfortunately be Kazuya's rental girlfriend. Oh hey mommy, do enjoy some food at a cafe and go bowling. She's not very good at it. As Kazuya buys some drinks, Sumi is then surrounded by a bunch of fuckboys. Instead of manning up and potentially dying to save Sumi, Kazuya hides while clinging to the drinks for dear life. After remembering what Chizuru said to him, Kazuya comes in to save the day. Kazuya takes Sumi and runs away from the fuckboys, who really need to shut their dick-sucking mouths. Sumi apologizes and thanks Kazuya for saving her. Oh hey mommy, Kazuya and Sumi continue their date until he sees her panties. This causes Kazuya to get a nosebleed and he quickly cleaned it. He returns to find Sumi and mommy sitting at the same table. Sumi doesn't like what's going on and clings onto Kazuya, telling mommy that he's taken by her. Mommy requests that she speaks to Kazuya alone. So, mommy and Kazuya are alone together. What do you think will happen next? Is it A, Kazuya speaks the truth to mommy about his relationship with Chizuru? B, Kazuya questions why mommy broke up with them and blocked them on Twitter and wants her back after explaining the rental girlfriend fiasco? Or C, which is a correct answer, none of the above! Mommy compliments Kazuya for being a ladies' man and Kazuya just lets her go. No, hold up, or wait a minute, or shouting her name. Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. As the date ends, Sumi calls Chizuru about how the date went. Needless to say, she's pleased with the results. Good for Sumi, I guess. Meanwhile, Mami wonders why she's still fixated on Kazuya. Turns out that Mami doesn't like true love and just went out with Kazuya because she could. She then searches for Sumi and discovers the rental girlfriend service. The next day, Kibe lectures Kazuya about sexual relations with the person he loves. Too bad Kibe doesn't know how much of a sexual deviant Kazuya is. Kazuya then sees Chizuru with another guy. Worried that his friends might see, Kazuya takes his friends to an arcade. Later that night, Kazuya finds Chizuru throwing wood chips at his window. Throw a grenade while you're at it. He'd love it. A lot. Chizuru thanks Kazuya for going out with Sumi, and she announces that she might quit her rental girlfriend job to become an actress. Kazuya feels down about it, but this is actually a blessing in disguise. Now he can stop the lies and get an actual girlfriend. Right after he screams like a man-child.
This sucks ass!
The next day, Chizuru waits for her friend, I guess? I honestly don't care. And Mami is right behind her. Please, God, tell me, will the ice finally be broken? Episode 12, Confession and Girlfriend. The grand finale! We're here! Ruka calls Kazuya after he blew one too many and she decides to date Kazuya before they go to work. Later, Kazuya was about to tell Ruka something until he sees Chizuru and Mami walking together. The girls enter a karaoke room where Mami offers Chizuru money, knowing she's a rental girlfriend. Mami then offers Chizuru to sing a song and Kazuya eavesdrops on the two. Ruka shows up and wonders who's in the room, but Kazuya, the liar who stole my pies, is trying to cover that up. The two return to their posts and Mami is still questioning Chizuru. Back at Kazuya, he's in a total panic and he decides to eavesdrop again. Chizuru returns Mami's money and Mami congratulates Chizuru for being Kazuya's rental girlfriend. She now understands what a rental girlfriend is and advises Chizuru to quit being a rental girlfriend because doing so will put Kazuya in a better place. Mami then expresses her anger towards Chizuru, and I applaud Mami for doing so. Even she's getting tired of this shit. The girls see the karaoke and Ruka questions what Kazuya was going to say to her, but just like Kimberly Sweetbound Wilkins said,
"Ain't nobody got time for that!"
Kazuya then pretends to be sick to find the two girls and starts to really feel like a dumbass. He catches up to them and eavesdrops once again. Mami apologizes to Chizuru for the surprise appearance and keeps Chizuru's rental girlfriend job a secret. As Mami leaves, Chizuru asks her how she feels about Kazuya. She tells her that Kazuya doesn't want to forget about her and that she has a place in Kazuya's heart. Mami then asks the same question, and I'm with Mami with this one as well. She asks if it was possible for Chizuru to date Kazuya for real. Mami also has a bullshit detector and takes her leave, but Chizuru has still more to say. She advises Mami to give Kazuya a chance after all the experiences she had with Kazuya and to allow him to give Mami a chance of happiness. For Mami, she claims that those feelings are strictly between her and Kazuya. And then Mami finally leaves. Oh, and instead of intervening and cleaning things up with the two girls, Kazuya cries a little bitch. Nothing new here. Later that night, Kazuya waited for Chizuru and thanks her for talking to Mami and stepping up for him. Chizuru then apologizes for not bringing Kazuya and Mami together. Kazuya has officially lost his mind. He is now in love with Chizuru. Though Chizuru suggests Kazuya tries again with Mami, Kazuya says,
"It's you! You're the one I want!"
Title drop, roll credits, play the epilogue. Chizuru asks what Kazuya meant by he's the one that he wants, and then Kazuya... Screw this. Roll footage.
What do you mean?
Well, that's my rental girlfriend, of course. That's all I meant. You're the only one I ever want to rent, and so it's gonna be so sad when you quit the job and move on. That's all I was trying to say, you know.
Is that really what you meant by that?
Yes, two facts were made clear here. Kazuya is incompetent all the way through, and he is completely worthless. Meanwhile, Chizuru recalls what Kazuya said and calls him an idiot indirectly. We warmly await your return. Hell the fuck no, nigga. I am fucking done with this shit. Fuck Kazuya, fuck Mami, fuck this whole plot, and fuck this whole damn pile of shit of an anime. Nothing has been resolved throughout this entire season. Kazuya is still in love with Chizuru despite Chizuru saying otherwise constantly and Ruka committing to the cause, and Kazuya doesn't appreciate that. Mami is still a heartless bitch who doesn't talk to Kazuya because of reasons, and we never see her new boyfriend, the one that she mentioned in the beginning. The fake couple just goes in circles and never break up nor say anything about their fake relationship to anyone. Ruka is done dirty after her multiple attempts to be with Kazuya, even after advising Kazuya to cut the fake romance shit and be with someone who actually loves him, and Kazuya has no redeemable qualities, so how the fuck can anyone love him? If anyone saw the real him, he'd be a dead man. He deserves way more stabs than Makoto received in school days. Everything from the lies to the going in circles to the running away all the time makes his piece of shit shittier. And then there's Mami. She never explains in full detail why she broke up with Kazuya in the first place. After 1 month, she basically tells Kazuya to fuck off and never talk to her again, but after seeing Kazuya with another girl, she gets upset, tweets about it, as the kids say, and then suddenly she wraps her arms around him, inviting him to the hotel pool, and is frustrated just because she sees Kazuya, the boy she dumped, seeing him with another girl. This doesn't make sense at all. She never talks to him, and yet she has the nerve to say to Chizuru that what happens between her and Kazuya is their problem to deal with. Are you fucking kidding me? Every opportunity that these two idiots had to patch things up and move on, either going together or separately, has been effectively wasted. They never go deep into anything. Mami may have dropped a few important words to Chizuru, but she's just as bad because she never explains herself. She never comes clean with Kazuya, nor does she come to terms with her feelings. And this is the girl that Kazuya fell in love with? Kazuya is lucky enough to have someone like Ruka, but that's because her heart went all doki doki and almost fucked them in the love hotel. Mami is the oil in this shit show and Kazuya was the fire. Had Mami just come clean with Kazuya and explain why she broke up with him, that would have let Kazuya down easy so that he wouldn't feel like shit all the time. That never happens. Mami is by far the second worst character in this entire show, and she can fuck off with her gloomy, dead face.
Where does she belong? In the streets. Where does she belong? In the streets. Where does she belong? In the streets.
The only characters I liked in this mess of an anime are Ruka and Kibe. Especially Kibe. Though Ruka had a poor start, she eventually gained my respect. She was willing to become an actual girlfriend and tried so hard to advise Kazuya to quit renting Chizuru. She's also my favorite of the main girls due to her cute personality and of course how pretty she is. I also wish she wouldn't cling on to Kazuya so much. Kibe is my all-time favorite. I fucking love this guy. He's the one guy who would basically wake up, slap the shit out of Kazuya to steer him in the right path. He's a hard ass when he needs to be and a great friend because of that. He's also very attractive to boot, so why the hell is he not getting any bitches on his dick? Seriously, why? This whole anime has no logic whatsoever. It's nerve-wracking, it's irritating, and it is a giant waste of time. You're better off seeing other romance animes that have actual characters that are likable and have brains in their heads. Hell, I'll take Nisekoi any day over this piece of shit, because while that anime has problems of its own, the story itself was enough for me to continue seeing what may transpire next. Rent-A-Girlfriend is a perfect example of how not to write a story, how not to handle characters, and how to waste the viewer's time. This is a mess from top to bottom, and the shit cherries on top is once again Mami Nanami with her lack of reasoning of why she dumped Kazuya and bitching about Kazuya's love life on Twitter, all while not talking to him and explaining herself. And then there's Kazuya Kinoshita, this lying, horny, grotesque, cowardly, self-centered, arrogant, worthless abomination of a human. Fuck this nigga and fuck Rent-A-Girlfriend. This is, without question, the worst romance anime I've ever seen. Shoutouts to Chizuru for doing yoga though. I think this fits her, especially when she can split her legs like this. Why am I so turned on right now? Fuck the manga in season 2.